Welcome to Notebook, a program of interest to the St. Lucie County community that features information about St. Lucie County schools. Guests include school district and community leaders with focus on children in our community.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Notebook. This is a show where we connect you with community officials, school district personnel, and other organizations from around the Treasure Coast. And today we are really excited, first of all, to be wearing our orange. You're going to see a couple of us in our orange today. Jim's in his orange, and we didn't even plan it, but the district is actually highlighting our Anti-Bullying National Day today. So that's what our orange is for. So if you see anybody in orange this week, just be thinking about how to work with your children, your grandchildren, and anybody that you know about how to treat others and that kindness piece that we really want to focus on for that National Anti-Bullying Day. So anyway, we'll go on with our show, but we wanted to give you that little tidbit to be looking for that orange. So today we have some very special guests with us, someone that I've known for a very, very long time, and excited that she's here with us, and another guest along with her. So I'm going to introduce Cathie Mouring, who is here from Graceway Village and just around the corner from the district office. And very excited to hear about all the different programs that have that are being supported through Graceway Village. That's a lot to get out. And just knowing that it's so close, it's right in the middle of our community, and all the wonderful things that you're doing, and to be able to share that with the community, we're really excited about that. And then next to her is Mr. Jim Pond, who is actually the Vice President of the Board of Graceway Village. And we're really excited to have both of you here to share about all the wonderful things that are happening right here in our community from both of you. So let's start first. I mentioned before we started the show, I always like to give the audience a chance to get to know the guests a little bit, and how you came into the position that you're in, a little of your background. Cathie, I know you were very strategically placed, and just a phenomenal job that you did as the coordinator and administrator for homeschool in St. Lucie County. But tell us a little bit of your background, a little bit about your girls even, very special girls, and just how you came into this position through Graceway.
Okay, we've already shared what I homeschool, and I was privileged to be the administrator of a private school for homeschoolers. And so I learned so much. I look back and see that was great preparation for what I'm doing now in all actuality. Have three wonderful daughters, all grown up, last one in college, and I had retired actually, and by the time she was a senior, I wanted to just enjoy that last year with her. And then it was time to kind of get back in the workforce a little bit, and they had a part-time position available at Graceway, so I stepped into that. It was just absolutely wonderful. And then, gosh, within 3 months, I landed this position. It was...
Everything falls into place, doesn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't anything I was anticipating at all, but I call it my Act 2 in life, and it's been very easy to grab a very strong passion for what we do.
Right. Very good. And Jim, you're a part of the board as well.
Yes,
so tell us a little bit. I know just a little plug for the Bug Guys, because this is, you always take that opportunity to do that. I love the shirt. But as your role as Vice President, and maybe just tell us too, what brought you to be a part of this board? Share with us about that.
Yeah, actually our church is involved in coming over here on Sunday nights. We'll get into that in a little bit when we talk about Matthew's Cafe. But our church comes and volunteers, and when I came the very first time, I'm like, my heart was moved, and I'm like, how can we get more involved? And that's how the Bug Guys got involved. We'll explain that a little bit later on in the show. But I just had a compassion and a passion to work with the people that had such a great need, just feeding them and giving them a hot meal on Sunday nights. And so the more I got involved, the more I got to know Cathie. She asked me if I would consider being on the board. And of course, after prayer and consideration, I agreed to do that. And it's been awesome what we've been able to do so far in the community and the things that we're going to be doing.
Yeah. And how those both fell into place, I always go by that slogan that you're never anywhere by accident. And you know, how things just fall in place on the way that, you know, they were meant to, you know, just the things that you're able to do through these programs. I know Graceway Village has a connection through United Way, and
Yes.
you know, when you hear United Way, most people right away are aware of what United Way is. So share with us how that partnership works between the United Way and Graceway Village.
We're so privileged to have them as a funding agent, our major funding agency. And they fund our two main programs, which is Hope's Closet for Children and Matthew's Cafe. We could not do what we do in those two programs without the generosity of United Way. And you take the financial aspect, which is great and certainly very needed, but you add to that the resources that they have, the support that they offer whenever is needed, the communication opportunities, and they have quarterly meetings where we get to sit with all the other funding agencies, and the partnerships that you get just from that, and the resources so that you can offer it to our clients when you hear of a need. They're just a remarkable agency. I've learned so much since being in this position and working with them.
Right. Now you mentioned Matthew's Cafe,
Yes.
so we're going to go program by program as we kind of go through the show. Talk to us about what Matthew's Cafe is and what is offered through that particular program.
Okay. Matthew's Cafe is the only food kitchen open on the weekend, and we chose Sunday nights because we wanted to have children be able to go to school with some food in their stomachs from the night before. We have anywhere from, I would say, 80 to 120 people every Sunday night come to eat. And it's a restaurant-style version. Last year we fed over 5,500 people. Wow. As not only do we do it on Sunday nights, and the biggest thing to me is a delicious salad bar. They don't get fresh produce like our Peggy provides to them. And it's all volunteer run except for our director of Matthew's Cafe. A year ago, we opened up for free lunches, and we're open on Wednesdays for that when our other program is open. So we get anywhere from 15 to 40 people every Wednesday for a free lunch. And it's very sobering, while at the same time gratifying. These are regulars who come, and it's not a big fancy lunch. It's what we call a light lunch. And they come every Wednesday, and they really need it. And so we're able to provide it. It's so satisfying, so greatly satisfying. Now, I will say with Matthews, it's one of my goals has been to reach individuals who are not able to come and get food, but they really need it. Our bus system doesn't run on the weekends, so they can't get transportation. And the seniors have just really hit me, and the disabled. And we have 3 public housing facilities in Fort Pierce alone for seniors and disabled. I thought it was just one. So
and many people may not even be aware of that.
I know. I thought it was just one. But it's 3. It's close to 400 people living in those 3 communities. And so what we have started, we started this past Sunday, we call it the Matthew's Cafe Homebound Delivery Program.
Awesome.
We take the neediest, those who are the most elderly or the most ill, who can't, it's such a hardship just to even get out and get food. Meals on Wheels can only do so much nowadays.
Right.
So we serve 50. We have volunteers take food to them every Sunday night in teams of 2, and we serve 50. We had our first one, on Sunday, and it was kind of like the Pied Piper. Because whereas we advertised a lot, many didn't sign up, but when they saw the volunteers coming in, loaded down with the food for the individuals, we now have a waiting list, which is exciting. And I know that Jim is putting together a crew for me.
Yes, we are.
To do it as well, and I'm thrilled about that. Yes, he is.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh my gosh! And I'm sure when you're talking about volunteers, you never have enough of those.
Never have enough.
Right.
No, we can always use more volunteers. One of the things I like about Matthew's Cafe is the fact that it's a dining room setting, where we actually all the volunteers wait on the people that are there to eat. We get their drinks. We get there and deliver their meal. We have a dessert cart that usually walks
Just
around.
like a restaurant.
Just like a restaurant.
Yeah.
We pick up the dishes. We clean up after them. So it gives them an opportunity to actually be served in that capacity. So it's really a blessing for us just to volunteer. But volunteers are the key to every program at Matthew's Cafe, and so we're always looking for volunteers to step up and to just reach out and get outside of the 4 walls.
Right.
I know we've talked about to a lot of churches, asking them to get outside of their 4 walls and get into the community, and this is a great opportunity for them to do that. So.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things to do at Matthew's is when I serve, I tend to just be the hostess or the mostess at the front door and to greet them as they come in. we have easily over 60% of them are regulars that come. And so it's just such a joy to see them and to touch base with them and give them hugs and to hear their stories and just their appreciation. They are so gracious and appreciative instead of with attitudes of expectation. And that really touches me when I see that.
And that relationship that you build with them is so key, and we always talk about that anytime we have guests on through the school district. We always, that relationship piece we hit all the time, but that it doesn't matter where you are, you know, especially in a program like this where you make it an environment where they feel a part, and you know, that's so key, and how you welcome them makes such a difference. Now, if someone, let's say someone that's viewing the show knows someone that may be in need of these type of services through Matthew's Cafe, or they could be watching and it's them, how would they go about being a part of that Matthew's Cafe? Is it just a matter of just showing up?
They're
How
showing
does that
up
work?
any Sunday night from 5 to 6 p.m. They can find directions, more information as well on our website, gracewayvillage.com. And we also have on the website a listing of all the other food kitchens open during the week in St. Lucie County, because we know that the need extends far more than Sunday. So we just make sure that all that information is available to
And
them.
the other thing I noticed too, and we've got the phone number up on the screen, was when I called at first to leave you a message, you have everything listed on the answering machine too. So if they don't have access to a computer per se, you know, there's still all the services and programs are listed, which was great. So that's a
Thank
great
you. We know it's a
resource.
lot to listen to before you get to leave your message, but it's all about.
As I was listening, I was just writing it all down.
which
I
one
thought,
should
this
I-
is saving me time going through it. But and the website is so user friendly and just so in depth. You know, just providing all the detailed information. So, you know, there's wonderful ways of getting the information out that you need, so which is wonderful. So okay, so we have Matthew's Cafe. The next one you mentioned was Hope's Closet. So tell us, I was very excited about Hope's Closet because this is kind of near and dear to my heart, and really talk about how parents and families, it could be grandparents too, you know, we know in this district we have a lot of grandparents raising children as well. Tell us just a little bit about the Hope's Closet and what it provides.
Absolutely. It was our first program, Hope's Closet for Children. It is a program that provides a lovely boutique atmosphere for families to come and get clothing for their children through the age of 17. And we realize that when you are in a low income bracket facing a crisis, you are used to thrift stores and walking into places that are being very generous and giving you clothing, but quite often the atmosphere is
Not we're welcoming.
yes.
Right.
And so we just really want to reach out in love and respect, and that's why such a focus has been given to just even the decor and how everything is presented. And the merchandise we have is all items that we would put on our own children or grandchildren, I can now say. I really wasn't aware of how high the truancy rate was for children because they did not have dress code appropriate clothing until I started this position. And we really focus on that. You mentioned grandmothers. I have so many just flash before me of grandmothers coming in and needing so much help because unexpectedly they're raising grandchildren. And it's so humbling, and we're so glad to help all of them. We had a family just this past week. They're just brand new to the area. Actually, they are from Mexico, and they are here on a work visa, and their children couldn't go to school because they didn't have dress code appropriate clothing. So what was really neat about this family is they came in, we served them, it was a really nice time with them, and the mother just kept saying, she couldn't speak English, she had her daughter translate, she kept saying, I want to clean your house as a thank you, I want to clean your house. Yes, and so we help the families, but we also help all the social service agencies. The caseworkers know they can come in and they can shop themselves for their clients. They get the calls, they get these children into foster care at 11 o'clock at night with nothing but the shirt on their backs. And they know they can call us and they can come in and get clothing for the children.
That's wonderful. And I love your attention to detail because you've thought about how to make everything so welcoming. Setting, like you mentioned, the Matthew's Cafe being set up like a restaurant and being served and making them feel special. And then setting this up as a boutique per se, not just racks upon racks, you know, that welcoming environment, just to make it even more special, you know, when someone's going through a difficult time, and that makes such a difference. That's so awesome. And
you can see, yeah, the way it's set up when they walk in, it's like walking into a boutique, like a store.
Boutique, right? Yeah.
And it's not just clothes piled up, and like Cathie mentioned, they're not highly used clothes. They're clothes that we would put on our own kids. You know, we don't put anything on the shelf that has holes or it's worn, or you know, we take a lot of pride in making sure that they have the right things on. I know one of the grants is for, you don't think about this, but first time I saw the little kids, when you think about underpants, for example,
right.
I mean, we make sure they have brand new underpants, and that's one of the grants that they're provided we're provided for each year. But just to see the look on these kids, like they got their own clothes or they have their own shirt, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it's a great environment for them to walk in, and they feel special. We try to make them feel special.
We certainly do.
Every person that steps foot on that property,
Right.
we try to make them feel special and share God's love with them.
Right. And
Every child gets a child's book. Gets to leave with a book too.
That's
so we're
even
always
better.
collecting books. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's good to know, because one of a big initiative through St. Lucie County is the literacy, St. Lucie Reads and St. Lucie Soars, and knowing that that's supported as well with the kids getting books. That's awesome.
You didn't know that?
No,
Yes.
I didn't know.
We've got a lovely book, and we've got cases and cases of books at times, depending on how
And
much
is
time.
that something that people could donate? Okay.
We would love the
so
books,
we'll kind of
yes.
hit that and plug that at the end. So
What
sell all
about
the different-
donations? Do we mention that now, where they can bring the clothes?
I
with
think
the-
she has a place in
We
the interview
do
just
toward
for
the end,
that.
so we'll kind of hit that
All right.
here at the end. And
See, he
how
keeps me
people-
on track well, too.
That's
You can
good.
see that, can't you?
Yeah, that's good. Nope, that's good. So we'll kind of hit that at the end and
Very
just
good.
kind of
Okay.
plug all the components. The next one I wanted to have you mention and talk about was Getting Ahead. Tell us
my
a little
goodness.
bit about that.
The timing of this is perfect because we are starting a Getting Ahead class next week. So I'm right now doing intake interviews with individuals. Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By world is actually a course through a nationwide initiative called Bridges to Prosperity. And Getting Ahead is for individuals who have been living in poverty. They want to get out. They're trying really hard. They just keep hitting that brick wall.
Right.
And what this class does, it's an 8-week course. They meet twice a week. And it turns them into investigators. One of the things they've kind of learned is that individuals that are stuck like this, they tend to be a bit strong-willed. And so they've learned that strong-willed individuals, tend to learn so much better when we come to the realization ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So they call them investigators, and what they have them start with is they investigate the community that they live within. And what they thought were conveniences, they find out that many of them are predators, such as convenience stores, check cashing places, pawn shops, fast food restaurants. These really are predators that keep us in poverty, or individuals in poverty. So when they come face to face with that, they bring their results back to class, they all chew it up together, light bulbs start to go on. Then the next step is to bring it into their home. And they look at things that they were raised with, good, bad, and indifferent, their problem-solving abilities, they just start tearing it up, and they start to see areas within their home and within themselves that have contributed to it. And then from that point on, they start determining what are your goals, what do you want to do, what do you need to do to achieve those goals. And with the help of our trained facilitators, they work out a timeline, and they get hooked up with different situations in order to help them achieve those goals.
That's awesome.
We love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when does the first one start?
Next Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday night. Okay, and if someone was interested in being a part of that,
They would want to call
first.
Graceway
Okay.
at 772-925-3074, and then I would give them a call back and do the interview.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, there's, and we've got the number up on the screen again, so we'll make sure we cover that again at the end. We've got some really exciting events too. As I was going through the website, there were some, and one I got to participate in
Yes, you did.
last year,
That's
which
right.
I was
She was a
very
champion,
excited
just
about.
want y'all to know that.
I wouldn't go that far, but it was a lucky day, let me tell you. But the different events that you have coming up, and I just thought it was so cute that you have a bebop and sock hop. So tell us about the sock hop. And
Oh, we're so
what is
excited
coming.
about it. It's
Yeah.
going to be at the Riverwalk Center on February 17th. It's for us adults to come and have a really good time with the 50s theme, bebop and sock hop. I've got my outfit already, and I don't do costumes, so that alone is just something. But it's just going to be a night of lots and lots of fun. Maybe we'll do a twist or two, you know,
Yeah,
a couple of those
yeah.
things. Good Food's a big fundraiser. So they can find out more information on the website.
Right.
And
how much does it cost
it's
for a
$50
ticket?
per person.
Okay,
That
per
includes the
person.
dinner and a great dessert.
Okay. And that's
yeah.
scheduled February 17th.
February 17th is a Friday night.
5:30 to 10:30.
5:30 to 10:30. We had to reschedule it. It was scheduled for this month, but
Right.
due to circumstances, we had to reschedule it. And I think the timing's better. Because
Yeah.
think about this: February 17th is right after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So what a fun
Good
day
planning.
that would be.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Bring your
It's going to be
sweetheart to
fun.
the bebop.
We're all looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's anytime you have like the 50s theme
Yeah.
type
So-
stuff, it's always a great time because
When you
it's
talk
just
to
great
young
music.
people today, they have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
But they would enjoy coming just to see us.
Yes, they
before
will.
ourselves.
Yes,
But
they
I
will.
can remember my kids when we talked about a sock hop. It was like a sock hop.
Right.
Who dances? You dance with your socks? What?
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, it's
gonna be good.
great and great music too.
Great
yeah, you
music.
can always have a great time. So we'll hit that date for that
And
one
Tommy
as well.
McDermott, you know who Tommy is?
Yeah.
Have you met her?
Yeah.
She's coordinating it. She's doing all the decorating and all of that. So it's
Very
going to be,
good.
we know, a class act with Tommy involved.
There you go.
Yeah.
And at the Riverwalk
Riverwalk Center. in
Center.
Fort
Okay.
Pierce.
All right. Right there by the Veterans. Isn't the Veterans Park right there too?
Yep, it's right
Okay.
next door to it,
Okay.
right on the river. Beautiful atmosphere.
Right. Which will
It's been
be-
remodeled too, so it's
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, which will be a great event. The next one is Butterfly Kisses for Father and Daughter Dance. So tell us a little bit about that. For
Honestly,
February
that is the signature fundraiser, particularly for Hope's Closet. It's a father-daughter dance. It's I think 4th year of doing it. It's prestigious. These little girls come in and they're princesses,
Yeah.
and they're treated like a princess from beginning to end. And their dads are in their suits and nice clothes, and they're made to feel like the gallant
Extra
knight in
special.
shining armors that they're supposed to be for their daughters. And they come back year after year. When the little ones come, Jane, the little ones come. They're so
sweet.
cute.
Yeah.
You can see the transition though when they start to be 6th, 7th grade. They're not wearing the tiaras
Oh, yeah,
and the
yeah,
foo-foo.
yeah.
They're there because Daddy thinks they should be there, but somehow they still have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Aw. And there's
Oh, it's
nothing
so
better.
much
I
fun.
can remember when Brooke went in elementary school. That was always a big thing when she was at Village Green, and to get to dance with Dad was so special. And yeah, it was such a great day. And it's right around Valentine's Day as well.
It is. It's right
So-
before Valentine's Day.
That
So
was some
Daddy
good
can
planning
really
there.
think about this.
Yeah.
That one man can hit all the women in his life.
There you go.
In a
Multiple people.
7-day span. And the Butterfly Kisses is held right on at Pelican Yacht Club.
Okay.
So you
Oh,
just
wow.
talk. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It is. It is really a prestigious event for
And
father
then to
daughter.
participate in that,
It's
would they-
$75.
Okay.
For father and daughter.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
And do they need to buy tickets ahead of time? How
They
does
need
that
to
all
buy
work?
tickets ahead
Okay.
of time.
All right.
They can certainly contact us, and we'll put them on the mailing list. So when they send the invitations out,
Okay.
Or they can just keep an eye on the website for more information on that.
Very good.
Just the silent auction items alone. If you picture yourself as a little girl walking in, and you see rows upon rows of beautifully wrapped silent auctions that are aimed for children, their eyes get big, and Daddy just has got to hold tight to his wallet. But then we have a section for dads.
Oh.
Like
That's very
hog
good.
hunting,
Yeah.
golfing, things like that
There you
too.
go.
So
There
they
you
do
go.
a remarkable job.
That's awesome. Very good. Well, then the last one, Jim, this is your
Right, this is the one.
This is your
Golfing,
big
it
event.
leads right into it.
Yeah,
The Bug Guys
doesn't it?
Charity Golf.
Yeah, there you go. So tell us about the Bug Guys Charity Golf.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my partner and I, we've been in business now 6 years, and we were trying to hook up with some sort of nonprofit organization where we could attach our name to it and be the sponsor, if you would, year after year after year. So when people hear about something, they know the Bug Guys are the ones sponsoring it. So we formed a 501c3, the Bug Guys Charity Golf Inc., and we met with Cathie, and Graceway Village is the recipient of that. 100% of the proceeds go to Graceway Village. We just had our first annual tournament, and it was awesome. Jane, you were
It
there.
really was. It was. It's
We
so
had
well
a great
done.
turnout. The golf course and the manager there said for a first-time tournament, the results were just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
We're really looking forward to our second annual Bug Guys Charity Golf Tournament. It's going to be May 13th. And it's at the Champion Turf Club, which used to be the St. James Golf Course, is now called the Champion Turf. And we've been able to partner up with them to put on a fantastic outing. And again, all the proceeds, 100% of them go to Graceway Village.
Now, I know for the tournament itself, you had a lot of sponsors and a lot of things donated as prizes and things like that. If we have people, listening, how would they go about providing any.
There's a couple ways you can do it. Obviously, the first step would be to go through Graceway Village website. There will always be something up there, or we'll have the Bug Guys Charity Golf icon there that you can plug on. You could also go to the Bug Guys Charity Golf Facebook page. We'll have that set up this year where people can actually be sponsors. You'll see all the different sponsorships and the different values, and they go anywhere from $300 for a foursome down to sponsoring a tee, sponsoring a hole. We're going to have some main sponsors, some bronze. We'll break that all down, but you'll be able to find that on the website.
Well, that was the first tournament. My husband's done many tournaments, and that was the first tournament I have ever done. Really? And it really was. And I've only golfed for maybe, I don't know, a year, maybe at the most. So that was it's such a great event, and it was more than I imagined. I thought we would just get out there and just scramble and do our thing, but you had a fabulous lunch. You had breakfast provided. You had just so many things that you could sign up for. All of the lingo for all of this. I can't think of all. Yeah, all the raffles.
We had the longest drive, the putting contest.
Yeah. Which she won. Which one was that you won?
The longest drive. There were only 4 girls in the whole thing, so it was really,
we'll be many more this year.
Yeah. But that was the lucky shot. But just how everything just was so professional, and again, just your attention to detail was just amazing. And my husband even said, he goes, "This is amazing that this is their first event, because you would never have known it."
We heard that a lot, but really, it's because of the cause. Really, everything going to Graceway, and we've got a lot of involvement from Graceway. Cathie and a lot of the volunteers came to help us. And this year, our date is a lot better than last year. Last year, we were in November, I believe it was, or July. But it was towards the end of the season. And this year, we're going to be right there at the beginning, where a lot of people get involved in golf tournaments. Well, they'll be able to get involved in the Bug Guys Charity Golf for Graceway. So there
are ways for people to be sponsors. There are ways for them to volunteer. Just so many components to what you can provide.
Yeah, we can be a volunteer, we can be a sponsor, we can be a player.
There you go.
And it's best to do all 3.
Yeah, there you go. We'd rather all 3. That would be great.
So again, through the Graceway website, or through the Bug Guys Charity Golf Facebook page. And we probably will have a website too, but if we do it, we'll announce it on Facebook.
Yeah, great.
But great time, and we really hit our expectations. Kind of went beyond what we thought we were going to donate.
It was fabulous.
And so we're looking to do a lot more this year.
Yeah, good. That's going to be a hard one to top,
yes,
so that's going to be very impressive. So before we've got about...
So we can count on you, Jane, to be there.
I'll be there. I'll be there. So we've got about a minute and a half left in the show, and I just want to kind of go back and just plug one more time the website and the phone number, and then kind of real quick just go down each program that we hit, and then I want to give the dates again just for all those events, so we really hit that. So give us the phone number and the website one more time.
Okay, the phone number is 772-925-3074, and the website's gracewayvillage.com. We also have a Facebook page of Graceway Village.
Good to know. And I missed the Facebook.
There you go.
I forgot about that. And then we really want to encourage people in the viewing audience. This is such a great way to be a part of serving our community. And just thank you both for all that you do. And I know you've got a core of people who are really helping make this happen, but it couldn't happen without our volunteers. And I know.
And donations and clothing and non-perishable food and books.
Yep. So she's got it all ready. That's good.
Want to get that
so
in.
if you have clothes and please make sure that they're clothes that you would want your own child to wear, and just make it feel special for someone else. And the books and your time.
Food.
Okay.
Every guest who eats at Matthews, we send them out with a bag of food, non-perishable items to last them a day or 2.
And one thing that's such a surprise is people don't realize how many people in this community go without food, especially on the week, especially our kids on the weekends. Yeah.
And donations, always in need of donations.
Yeah. So viewing audience, please, especially during this time of year as we're coming up into the holidays, which is an even more challenging time for many of our families here in the community, don't forget to be a part of Graceway Village and what they're providing to our community through your donations. Check out the website, just give them a call. We want to reiterate those dates one more time. We've got the Bebopping Sock Hop, which is February 17th from 5:30 to 10:30. Don't forget that. It's a great event to be a part of. Then we have the Butterfly Kisses for the father-daughter dance at the Pelican Yacht Club, which is February 12th from 1 to 4. Dads, You can make your daughters feel like a princess and hit that February 14th date double. So that's great. And then the Bug Guys Charity Golf Event, which is at the St. James, which it's now called
Champion Turf Club.
Thank you, because I wouldn't have remembered that, on May 13th. And if you can be a sponsor, volunteer, whatever you can do to help make a difference here in St. Lucie County, we'd be glad to have you be a part of that.